Unfortunately, these films proved that, when it comes to movies, all that glitters is not gold.
Let's get down to business.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst movies with great casts.
You're very kind.
For this list, we've gathered a variety of films that got us excited with big names attached to them, but in the end, did not deliver.
I'm not insecure, I'm freaking out!
We've judged these movies based primarily on their critical response, and we've judged the actors based on their reputation for having good and memorable performances.
This is going to be so much fun, oh my god!
Number 10, Christopher Columbus, The Discovery.
I can see you've come well prepared, Christopher Columbus.
With names like Marlon Brando, Tom Selleck, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Benicio del Toro gracing this epic film, chronicling one of the greatest explorers of all time, historians and movie lovers alike were drooling in anticipation.
I wish to redeem myself with my father.
You have quite a task ahead of you.
What filmgoers got instead was an enormous disappointment. The story was criticized as uninventive, the acting dull, and the film generally boring. Oscar winner Marlon Brando gave what's been called one of the worst performances of his career, and after its release, the film's producer, Alexander Salkind, claimed he would never make another movie again. And he didn't.
And it is he who will judge you for what you have done.
Number 9, Year One.
I didn't think it was anything related to...
Yeah, I didn't think.
Jack Black, Michael Cera, Olivia Wilde, Paul Rudd, Oliver Platt, Bill Hader. Those are just some of the comedy heavyweights within this 2009 flick.
Well, I guess that settles it.
What?
Directed by and also starring the legendary Harold Ramis, this story of a hunter and a gatherer near the beginning of human history seemed like it'd be the next comedy hit.
They don't think that this is challenging? Gathering is extremely challenging.
Rather than a hit though, viewers were greeted with a big budget lemon. With a lack of chemistry between the actors and uninspired shock and gross-out humor in place of actual wit and comedy, this stale screwball was majorly underwhelming.
What does this look like?
Number 8, 9.
Everyone is here to help the movie.
This movie had 3-time Oscar winner Daniel Day-Lewis heading a crowd of beauties as diverse and talented as Nicole Kidman, Sophia Loren, Penelope Cruz, Judi Dench, Marion Cotillard, and Kate Hudson. Could we ask for anything more?
Is this true?
It sounds fantastic. I can't wait to see it.
Apparently we could. Although the musical drama, loosely based on director Federico Fellini's life, had much promise, it tried to be something it just wasn't.
Sleep, then come back here and make a good movie.
The film proved to be emotionally distant with a muddled plot that turned off viewers with its lack of coherency and direction.
Old friends, I have to come clean with you. There is no movie.
Number 7, Be Cool.
Come on, players, stop hating. Stop hating. Stop participating.
Boasting seemingly more celebrities in its cast than live in Beverly Hills, this crime comedy starred John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Cedric the Entertainer, Harvey Keitel, Vince Vaughn, and Danny DeVito, to only name a few, along with cameos by everyone from Aerosmith to the Black Eyed Peas. Although it's a parody of the film industry, so much focus is given to showcasing celebrities and spoofing various aspects of the biz that aspects like character development are non-existent.
I'm tripping G, cause there is actually someone who wants chili, Palmer dead more than me.
On top of that, most of the jokes fall really flat, and the story is sacrificed at the expense of fitting in more inside jokes.
I think movies are too corporate. I like to be spontaneous and creative.
Number 6, The Bonfire of the Vanities.
Ah, Mr.
Hi,
Fallon.
Mr. Fallon, welcome.
Although there was a time that we were convinced that Tom Hanks could do no wrong, all we have to do is remember this catastrophic failure.
Is that the best you can do? Is that as witty as we get?
Alongside titans like Bruce Willis, Melanie Griffith, Kim Cattrall, Morgan Freeman, and F. Murray Abraham, the movie follows a materialistic and pleasure-seeking Wall Street investor whose life unravels after a fateful wrong turn in the South Bronx with his mistress.
It has its funny side, but it isn't funny.
Criticized for poor casting, a lack of character development, and creating the wrong mood and atmosphere, the comedy drama and its cast were nominated for multiple Razzies. Number 5, The The Big Wedding.
Oh my God, I'm so terribly sorry.
Combining romance, drama, and comedy with a story about a dysfunctional family getting together for a wedding is a surefire way to please audiences.
Cunnilingus.
Add big names like Robert De Niro, Katherine Heigl, Diane Keaton, Susan Sarandon, Robin Williams, Amanda Seyfried, and Topher Grace, and you are almost guaranteed to make a ton of money.
Just because you porked my wife doesn't mean I have to return the favor.
Excuse me?
That's right, almost. The critical reception for this comedy was almost all negative, with a forced plot, poor editing, and a lack of laughs to blame, in addition to a cast that doesn't really seem to try. Because, you know, they don't need to.
At least no one will ever forget it.
Number 4, Jack and Jill.
Idiots like you really make me mad!
Okay, we all know that Adam Sandler has made some duds since his glory days, but it was this 2011 alleged comedy that introduced us to a new low in his career.
Tell me you don't feel this.
I didn't feel it. Maybe if you did it harder.
Although it's been called one of the worst movies of all time and has been panned for its acting, writing, producing, and pretty much everything else, what's more disturbing is that it boasts such an illustrious cast.
I'm guessing Mexican?
Yes, Mexican!
With the likes of Katie Holmes and Al Pacino leading the actors, and cameos from Dana Carvey, Norm Macdonald, David Spade, and Johnny Depp, we can't help but feel bad for everyone involved.
What do you think people are thinking here, that I'm sitting with my rabbi?
Number 3, Valentine's Day.
You're the only man I've ever loved.
Sometimes, comedy films with ensemble casts and intertwining storylines are charming and pleasant to watch. This is not one of those films.
Somebody out there loves you.
While we love Jessica Alba, Kathy Bates, Jessica Biel, Bradley Cooper, Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Garner, Topher Grace, there he is again, Anne Hathaway, and Julia Roberts, who are just some of the movie's renowned cast members, we definitely did not love them in this chaotic, cliche-filled romantic comedy directed by Gary Marshall.
I'm sorry. I love you. But I'm just not ready for this kind of commitment.
With an absence of logic, charm, or intelligence, it's easy to see why Time magazine called it one of the top 10 worst chick flicks.
It's ugly, bro. Toxic, septic.
Number 2, Mixed Nuts.
Chock full of mixed nuts.
For the early 90s, there could be no better director or cast. Nora Ephron had recently directed Sleepless in Seattle, and decorating this comedy's running time were Steve Martin, Madeline Kahn, Anthony LaPaglia, Juliette Lewis, Rob Reiner, Gary Shandling, and that's just to name a few.
I am so sorry. I really didn't mean it.
It's perhaps this assembling of talents, most required to play weird, stressed out, or completely crazy characters, that became the movie's downfall.
If you call the police, my baby's gonna be born in a jail.
Critics reviled the frantic pace, desperate attempts at getting laughs, and inharmonious story that made Mixed Nuts tiresome, overwhelming, and over the top.
I know, I'm sorry, won't happen again.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions.
Hey, look good. See ya.
Why are you letting me live?
I'm borrowing you. We're going to take a little journey.
I'm gonna miss that ugly mug of his.
Don't worry, Max. You're going to see him before you know it.
Number 1, New Year's Eve.
There it goes.
Dad, aren't you going to be cold?
No. There's nothing like New York air.
As if Valentine's Day hadn't taught studio executives a lesson, director Gary Marshall followed up that film with another holiday-filmed romantic ensemble comedy featuring the same formula of intertwining characters and scenes.
You want me to come in on New Year's Eve at midnight and perform a C-section?
The result? The worst film of 2011, even worse than its predecessor and both overly schmaltzy and poorly constructed.
It's just that it's New Year's Eve, and I thought maybe you wanted to give me my end-of-year bonus.
Yes, not even Michelle Pfeiffer, Zac Efron, Robert De Niro, Halle Berry, Jessica Biel, Katherine Heigl, Sofia Vergara, Ashton Kutcher, Sarah Jessica Parker, Josh Duhamel, and Hilary Swank, among others, could save this flop.
It is New Year's Eve. Anything's possible.
Do you agree with our list?
Oh, that's awful.
What terrible movies do you think featured great casts?
I would only really tell him.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Hey, I'm a big fan.